Hi, it's Anne, and we're getting ready for the holidays. I had a lovely viewer ask me when we first started this holiday series if I could do something using old Christmas cards. So I dug into my stash and came up with actually quite a few ideas that we're going to be doing over the weeks to come, but I'm excited about this one today. So let's get started. I have several just card fronts. I cut off the personal image part in the back. I might have even gotten some of these from my neighbor because I asked her to save them for me, and she's happy to have a reason to save her lovely cards and pass them along to me for crafting. We're going to use a couple of these, but the first one I'm going to use, I got a little bit of a head start on this to show you, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in my blank journal. Now oh, here we go. I took another card front and I split it right in half. We're just going to make a pocket out of this, and I glued on the back just some little tabs of brown paper, and these are just little gussets that give it a little more ease when we're gluing it into our journals. This is the quickest, easiest thing that you could ever do. But this looked like it was something nice and cheerful that I could put into my journal. I think that will be about the right placement. So I'm just going to put this bottom half here. We're going to look at a couple of different ways that we can use these. And I'm going to glue this down. Now with that little gusset on there, that just gives a little more ease when you're putting something in there, rather than the pocket component being just glued flat down to your page. So there's our pocket. It literally does not get any easier than that. Now I could make a pocket out of this. I could just glue this down as a decorative item. I could put a hinge on it to give it a little extra journaling spot because it's blank on the back. I think I will do that. I hadn't really, there's so many different ways that you can go. I didn't get this trimmed off very smoothly on that end. Whoops, upside down, Anne. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a hinge on this one so it can flip up. So let me go back to the brown paper. And let's see, I want to glue it along the top. I could put it on the side too, but I think it's easiest to write in later if it's flipped up from the top. So when you put a hinge or a gusset on something, let me kind of visualize how this is going to go. I want it to flip up. Yeah, so that's right. I want the fold here on my hinge to be next to the edge of my card top. So we'll slide that there. And because there's a little bit of a scallop in the top of this card paper, I'm pulling my hinge down just a little bit. And that is positioned nicely. And glue this bottom part down here. And because I've got a little bit of wiggle room with this wet glue, I can fold it down and get that nicely into place. Now this page is just some brown wrapping paper that I've spattered with just a little bit of gesso, and this is going to be perfectly fine journaling space, both here and here. So a little hidden journaling spot. This is, I'm sure, has dried enough. Let's see how this tag slips in there. That's a little bit long. I'm just going to trim off the bottom. If I take about that much off, that'll make it fit. I'm a big believer in making things fit. That's not going to change the proportions of that tag too much. There we go. So there's our page with the card, hidden journaling spot, and room for that tag to slip in just like that. I am enjoying that. I'm thinking that looks cute. If I wanted to put a couple of more tags in there, there's plenty of room to do that. I can put all kinds of taggage in there. Super cute. Let's choose a different card in a different way that we might want to do this. Set this aside for now. This I thought was adorable. Pretty sure this was one my neighbor gave me, with the cats looking outside at the cardinals. Love cats, love cardinals. I do believe in cats being inside so they don't wreak too much havoc in the bird population. Cats are kind of having a moment, aren't they? And with this one, because this was sort of a large card front, and I was lucky to have this little gold rim around the edge, I'm just going to take this margin off. And we're going to make the image a little smaller without disrupting it too terribly much. That. These cards have been sitting around maybe for a couple of years. I don't think any of these are from last year's batch. I do have some more in with all my Christmas stuff, and we'll be using them throughout this series. All right, now, if we were to do this like we did with this Christmas card? What's the problem? I'd be doing some slicing here, wouldn't I? I like the idea of cutting this off this way so I can keep the birds together and keep the cats together, because we're in this little scenario. We're going to know that there's a window in between, and never the twain shall meet. The birds are safe and the cats are entertained. So I'm just going to take advantage of the composition of this card front image and just slice this diagonal. We can cut this whatever way we want to. There we go. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put, I think since this is a angled pocket, I think I don't really need to do gussets on this one. Why don't we put this on the inside back cover? There we go. That'll look nice, picking up that red from that pocket. This is what's nice about having a blank journal already made that has the color scheme sort of established. It's easy to decide what I want to put in there. Easily done. Now, let's decide, do we want to do any sort of hinging on this? You know, yeah, I think I am going to put a hinge on this. It would be perfectly fine just to glue it flat down, But as long as we're here, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a hinge just along this side. Shorten that up a little bit. And again, with a hinge, you want the fold of your paper to be along the outer edge of your card. It's funny, I think one of the reasons I asked my neighbor Cheryl to if she could save cards for me is that at Christmas, I get a lot of cards, but most of my cards are photo cards. I have lots of grown nieces and nephews that have families of their own now, and they have adorable children, and they just kind of tend to use those photograph holiday cards, which I love. And there's ways that we can craft with those too. I'll look into that also. The traditional decorative cards are in the minority in the cards that I receive, but Cheryl seems to get a lot of them yet. Ask your neighbors, ask your friends to save cards for you. They will do it. It used to be that business holiday cards were a really big thing. You know, you'd always get a Christmas card from your insurance agent or your dentist or something like that. I don't think many businesses do that type of thing that much anymore. That's cute. I think I'm going to put a little, we could write right on this page, but why don't we define that space just a little bit more? Let me see if I've got some blank paper over here. This I used for some other purposes, but part of a fly leaf sheet. Got some paint on the other side, but it still will be fine, I think, for the purposes of providing some writing space here. I want there to be a little bit of a perimeter. And let's just go ahead and ink these edges. This is a page from an old cookbook, and it's pretty well yellowed, even as it is. So you can see I was doing all kinds of random stamping here, but it was here on the craft desk. If it's hanging around here, it's probably going to get put into a journal. Right, this is going to go right into this space. And I'll probably go back and do just a little decorative stamping here and there. But it's clear, you know, I could put another one of these on the back here if I wanted to define that whole space as a journaling area for journaling situations. I think that looks really cute. Let's find our, what did I do with our tag? Oh, here it is. Let's see if this tag can fit in here. This is just one I made out of a little piece of Christmas scrapbook paper, and I had a couple of punch out Christmas trees and a few scraps in my Christmas box from last year. Those are the kind of things I put into my kit. There we go. Doesn't that look nice? Oh, it looks Christmassy, but it looks, you know, it's not juvenile. It just looks warm and holiday-like. And when you take this tag out, Oh, you get the surprise of the cats there. And you can write a little bit about what's going on in your life. What are you seeing outside your window during the holiday season? There we go. One other thing I wanted to point out, if we had wanted to, oh, here's another added advantage. Once you put a tag in here, your little hinge part that flips open, the tag keeps it shut. So it acts as its own closure. So in case we had not wanted to do this flip up on the top, I could have left this open here and glued this piece like in the U here. So I had two pockets, one right on top of each other. I'd put a couple here. And if it were open up here, you know, that'd just be right there on the top. So there's a way to make a double pocket there as well as this single pocket with the hinge and the secret journaling space. I hope you had fun with these. I'm going to look at ways that we can start using other holiday card fronts as well, and we'll look at those photo cards. I think there could be some fun ways to use those. I'm going to have to ask permission of my family members though to use their recent cards in some of my examples. I'm sure they won't mind, but I'm not going to use anybody's photo without their permission. I hope you had fun with this, guys, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.